Hi, I'm Chuck Dorsett for Weaver Leather Supply. How about a traditional, very simple leathercraft project? For those of us that want to get our feet wet, perfect place to start. We're going to get some confidence here because we need very little skill, very few materials, and very few tools. And look at that outcome. All right, so anything I use in this video, weaverleathersupply.com, or check below. We've got links there. Going to take you straight to the website. Also, if you want to know when our videos release, just click your notifications. You'll know exactly when these come out. So let's step over to our pattern table, get a look at a very simple pattern. We've got a digital pic of our pattern. We'll look at that shortly, but we're going to look at what we're doing first. That's going to help everything fall right into place. So on our pouch, our main body size is going to be 4 inches by 5 inches. We're going to add wings to all 4 sides. So what'll happen is we're going to bring our left and right in, doesn't matter who comes first. Then we'll bring this over that. We'll drop in a sand brown post right there, and then there's our flap. That's all we're doing. Now on our digital pic, we'll jump over to that, but right here, I'd like to give this a 1/2 inch just so we cover our corners, but also we're going to have a hole on all 4 points. We're going to come in 3/8 of an inch in from the point for that hole. Okay, digital pic. Our full size here, 11 inches wide by 9 inches long. And we've got our wings there. We're going to go 3 inches on the left and right wing. Top and bottom will come out 1/2 inch and then add 2 inches. So for the most part, nothing difficult here. Now on that 1/2 inch, I'd just like to extend this out a little bit because that's going to cover that corner. All right, so we've got a feel for this. Let's cut some leather. Let's go with what has quickly become one of my favorite leathers at Weaver. This is our cypress. It's got some good weight to it, but it's very pliable, very soft. Now it's a milled veg tan, so therefore we're going to get a little bit of a pebble grain texture. Love this color. This is our green. 5 beautiful colors in this. Now when we're marking our pattern, no great way to go here. We can scribe this, but that's almost impossible to see. I need to see my pattern and I want the camera to be able to see that. So we're going to use a pen. Now we'll help out here in 2 ways. First off, I want to clean the tip off. Make sure I've got no excess ink there. But when we trace this in, I also want to cut this inside of our ink line. That's going to give us our most accurate cut. So let's get that right down into our corner, be as efficient as we can. And now let's lightly trace this. Good, we've got that marked and we can see it very nice. Now, when we cut, first off on our square, non-slip tape, absolutely. But secondly, new blade or sharp blade every time, particularly if we're cutting into a very soft or pliable leather. So what I want to do here is I'm going to cut just inside that ink line. But again, if we have a new or sharp blade, look how easy that cut is made. We've got a good pattern there. Okay, let's step over to our punch table, punch our holes, and knock this together. We're going to go a little detail-oriented here. We're going to punch holes, but we're going to punch the right size holes. So on our pattern now, I didn't mention this, but this is our pattern sheeting. Makes a great pattern. It's easy to mark, easy to cut, but it's durable. So let's lay this in, and let's mark for our punch holes with our awl. Okay, we've got that. So we're going to use what's called a sand brown or a button stud. So right there we've got our post and we've got our cap. On this, right here's our flap. Notice we've got this jutting out. Either side can be our flap. If we're not familiar with this pattern, we can always write that on the pattern. So on 3 holes, let's go up to a revolving punch. Best on the market for quality and cost. Great thing here, replaceable tubes, but also the tubes are actually numbered. So on 3 of these holes, what I'd like to do is punch a hole that's going to be about the same size as the screw post. So let's go up to our 3rd tube. Let's punch 3 holes. And we've got that. Okay, so on our flap hole, we want a hole that's going to be roughly the same size as the throat. In fact, we've used these before on our coasters. So right there, just like this, 3 sides are going to come together with our sand brown. The 4th will be our flap with a slot on that. So right here, I want a hole that's going to be about the same size as that throat. So let's bump up. Let's bump up to the 5th hole there. Good, we've got that. Okay, on our sand brown, I'd like to put a little glue in this. I don't want to weld this down in case I ever have to replace it, but let's just take a little bit of our white glue. Good, all right, flip this over. Now, we've got our flap on this side, so what I'd like to do, let's flip this around. Doesn't matter if left or right comes in first, but let's lay our screw in. Let's bring that through, good. Over here, same thing. And now down our bottom flap, let's bring that up. Okay, good. So we're almost there. Now on this, that's got a slot on the back of the screw, but really with these, we can get those pushed down on there and tightened really pretty easily just with hand pressure. Yeah, let's screw that down good and tight. Okay, very nice. Now right here, one thing we need is a slot. We're going to cut a slot on the inside of this. Now, I'll explain this. I want our slot to go away from the stress. So this is pulling this way. So I'd like the throat to sit down here and not in our slot. That would actually come out. So let's take our knife. Let's cut a slot about a 1/2 inch long. Good, and we can always flip that around and complete that cut if we need to. Good, we've got our slot. So let's bend this around. And there we are. That is a cute little pouch. We don't need a lot of skills, tools, or materials. That looks good. I love simple leathercraft projects that come out as pretty as that. Big point here, make it your own. Have a great time doing it, and I hope it comes out beautifully. Good luck with your projects.